those that are deemed uneducated because they can't speak French, because they can't speak English, because they can speak these foreign languages. He was the foremost anti-colonialist, the foremost Pan-Africanist that I think my country has ever had. And language holds the key. And as the ladies have pointed to, it is the key to everything. So please hold on that mantle of speaking your languages, be proud of it, and this is what I'll take with me home. Forgive me for speaking English, but I was colonized by the British, but I will make my best to speak in Bemba one day when you guys come to my country. I rest my case.
Thank you. I think you're preaching to the choir because as a diaspora, one of the first things you're told is if you want to understand Somaliland, you need to learn the language. And if you want to understand the culture, you need to learn the language. And alhamdulillah, there are many vehicles to now learning the languages. And for a while, because we're stubborn as diaspora, we thought, you know what, we're going to read the translations. But having read the translations and having now learned Somali and understood the original writings, it is not the same thing. So please learn the language. I'm joining the choir that says learn your language. In terms of, there are lots of diaspora Somalis that are writing in English. They're writing fiction. Some of them are writing history or their narrative of history. Is there a growing literature in Zambia written by its diaspora that is finding an audience in Zambia?
I don't know how I can explain it, but in Zambia, we are not too many outs in the diaspora. So most Zambians are in Zambia. Only a few are out of Zambia. So we are more home, yeah. So yes, but at home they are writing. We are writing. No wonder we even brought, if you check out at our store, we have different publishing houses. We even got the Zambia Educational Publishing House, which is like a parastatal. It's a company that is run by the government that is deliberately encouraging Zambians to write, and it's one of the few publishing companies that actually publish in our local languages. So we have a lot of, they encourage Zambians to write in their local language, and then they publish the book. So if you go to their store, you find a lot of Zambian languages, books that have been written in Zambian languages. So we also have Soultrain, which is a private publishing company, which is also talking about Zambian stories. So with Soultrain, it publishes organic Zambian stories, either fiction or non-fiction. We also have Gasden, but I think Gaston is the one that actually has a few of Zambia diasporians, like Professor Namwali Sapel. And we also have Ellen Banda Aku, who are not stationed in Zambia, but they are writing. So we only have a few diasporians who are writing because Zambians are in Lusaka and they're all in Zambia. Thank you.
We're very envious because I think 50 to 60% of Somalilanders were outside of Somaliland still since fleeing the genocide in the early 90s. But hopefully we'll also get to a time where the majority of our citizens are home with us, writing their stories in whatever language that they've learned to thrive in, but hopefully in Somali also. I'm going to open up to the audience, but before I do, my final question is related to the theme, the Africa that we want. I want to clarify, Victor, you said Zambia was the first country to recognize British Somaliland. Yeah?
This nation, yes.
This nation, when it first started. Well, the Africa that I want to see, and maybe you can do some pushing on your end, is Zambia now being the first country to recognize it, re-recognize it again. But what is the Africa that you want to see?
Yes, the Africa I want to see is one that's defined by, say, what the Hargeysian International Book Fair is trying to pursue. The one of a unified continent, one that I would like to get on a flight in Lusaka, fly to Hargeisa without questions asked. I want an Africa that is proud of itself, one that breaks or pursues the breaking of bondages of coloniality that still continues to hold us. We are still tethered to those that once colonized us. I want us to look within. I want us to be proud of ourselves. I want us to extend the hand of helping to the other without questions asked. I want to open up my borders, the so-called colonial borders, the ones that you see there. I want us to open them up so that anyone from anywhere, as long as they belong to the greater continent of this Africa, can do business, can thrive, can find peace, can do whatever they want. That's the Africa I crave for. That's the Africa that I need, and that's the Africa I'm working day in, day out for, to the very end of my life. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very inspirational. Sumil, same question.
I want to say a lot of African books because I believe I think it's in our DNA to tell stories. Why do I say so? Because even here you can hear the chit chat. We are telling stories. So now let's have those stories in books. So can we write a lot of stories? I want when next time we are having, maybe next year, this place should be small to accommodate all African books that we are going to be brought back for exhibition. So my Africa is to see Africans believing in themselves, Africans writing, Africans telling their own stories in their own perspective, and Africans reading their own work. That even includes children. So a lot of children's books that are written by Africans because, I mean, they are relatable and they give the settings and the plots that we understand. So yes, that's my Africa. A lot of writing and a lot of reading.
Yeah, same question. Yeah. The Africa I want to see in the headlines. I want to see the Africa that is represented here, where we are sitting and sharing stories. I doubt this is making headline. But the moment we were going to raise guns and shooting at each other, no matter how many people, whether it's one person, 3 people, 1 million, Africa is in the headlines. I don't like that. I would like to be in the headlines because this is what Africa is. And this is what Africa is like. We are at peace with each other. We are with each other most of the times. The little times that we have had ripples, it just goes out there that, like that's all we do. But that's not true. That's not true. And for me, those are the changes that I want. I want us to make headlines that are speaking what we know, what we do, like what we are doing right now.